Purpose of today's video is I'm going to be showing you, in my opinion, the best carp rig for beginners. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I've been carp fishing for a few years now, and I have tried different rigs, many rigs actually, but I've always gotten used to just one particular rig, and that's the bolt rig. And I actually started with this rig when I first started carp fishing. I just find it the easiest rig to use if you're new to carp fishing. I picked it up right away. It was pretty easy. As you know, with carp fishing, it can be pretty extensive. It can be pretty complex at times too to understand all these different rigs that are out there. But if you really want a good, effective rig for beginners, you want to try the bolt rig. And all you really need is just three things really. You need a method feeder, an Inline method feeder. This is a Fox paste bomb, which acts as a method feeder. Essentially, it's inline because it has a hole at each end. So there's a little thin tube on top of this where your line's going to feed through here and then go out the bottom, which I will show you. And your pack bait will essentially go on here as well. And then you're going to need a hair rig. Actually a barrel swivel on the top, and then your hair rig kind of on the bottom of it here essentially. So I'm going to be showing you how to rig this up. I've caught lots of big fish on this rig, all sorts of sizes, but it's very good for beginners. So you have just take your line, your main line, and you're going to take your method feeder, which I will leave a link in the description of everything that I use here and where to get it. So I'm going to put my main line through this top part here. Alright, so you just feed it from the top all the way through the bottom, and you're going to have it kind of hanging onto your line here. Okay? So that's step number one. Step number two is you're going to take your hair rig. Make sure you tie your line onto your swivel. Really, any knot should suffice, as long as you know it's a good, strong knot. And then you just tie it on to your line. Tie it below the method feeder. All right. Cut off your tail end. Just grabbing my scissors. All right. And then you're going to put the top part of your swivel inside the bottom opening of this method feeder, so it kind of sits nice and snuggle in there. I'm going to put it in all the way, a little more than halfway, until you see the other part of the barrel swivel kind of sticking out, just like that. Okay, so you're going to put it like halfway through, and it kind of sits in place just like that. And that is the bolt rig for carp fishing. If you didn't want to use a hair rig, you could probably just use a regular leader line coming from the other bottom of that barrel swivel. You can use monofilament and just use a hook on here if you want as well. Works the same way. I just like the hair rigs are a little bit better in my opinion with the hookup ratio. So, but that's how you do a bolt rig, and I'm going to show you how to put the pack bait on here. So all three of my rods have the exact same setup, except this one has a different kind of hair rig, a blowback rig on this one, which we'll describe in a different video. But the purpose of, like I said, today's video is just really show you the bolt rig, this specific setup. Method feeder, hair rig. And this method feeder, you're going to take some pack bait, which the purpose of the video is not to show you how to make pack bait, but I'll have you learn how to do that, which I'll leave a link in the description above, how to make pack bait. But you just kind of mold it on around the method feeder or your lead. You can use a bank sinker, an inline bank sinker if you want as well. Just put it on there like that, and you take your hook. If you're using a regular hook on here, I'm using a hair rig, just put it right on top. And with the hair rig, I have 2 pieces of juicy pear corn from Linear Bait. There's different styles of the bolt rig which you can use, but I like doing this specific one. There's different varieties, so there's more than one right way to do it, which is what's great about carp fishing. A lot of different ways to carp fish. This is a creek. This rod's going to be by itself. It's not going to be on the pod, but the other 2 rods I have will be on a pod. All right. Just cast it out. All right, guys, all of our rods are out now. You saw me cast this one out, so that one's by itself. And that's the double stack of juicy pear corn. And then I put my other 2 rods on a pod down here. There is a little bit of a current, so I'm trying to spread out my rods. Plus, when I fish a new area, I like covering as much ground as I can. So I mean, they're not like too far, but you can see the 2 rods here. The left one here has pop-up oilie from CC Moore, NS1 pop-up, NS1 special pop-up oilie. And then the right one has a Linear Bait Juicy Pear Tiger Nut that's tipped with an Enterprise pop-up corn, my go-to bait. Always use it when I carp fish. All same setups here, all same rigs, bolt rig all the way. And we're gonna see if we can get a carp. I'm not really sure there should be carp in this in this body of water. Like I said, first time here. This is a creek, it's a tidal creek. So it essentially feeds right into the Delaware River. And so I'm sure there's catfish, bluegill, bass, carp, typical fish. Hopefully this is a good area. Has a nice stretch, narrow stretch all the way down. Probably a good 1/4 mile down. So we're gonna see if we can get one. Stay tuned.
tentacles at his mouth?
Yeah, what are those?
This looks like a...
All right, guys, this is our first carp. This is right on the bolt rig. All right, beautiful fish. First time here. Won't be our last time either. It's healthy. We won't get a weight, but he's probably going low teens, 13, maybe 14 pounds.
That's a big fish to me.
We're going to release this one. There he goes. All right, guys, we're going to call it quits for the day. Only out for a few hours, a very short session, but the purpose of today's video was not to be out very long. It was just to show you how effective the bolt rig is and how to use it and how it can catch carp pretty quickly. And this one was a pretty decent one that we caught, probably going in the mid to upper teens. I encourage you guys to really try out the bolt rig. It's a very effective rig. It's primarily what I use, and I guess I just kind of stuck with it. You know, why change it if it works for you, kind of thing. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and give a thumbs up, and I'll leave everything in the description below about this bolt rig, and we'll see you next time on Top Tactic Fishing. Take care, guys.